Hunter?
Let me guess. Could not sleep? Starting to become a common theme here.
It was not always the case. The Abbey was once a different place. I was happy here once.
Now that is something I would like to see.
I suppose I have earned that. I have been extra me lately, as Nico says. It is just that for so many nights now, every time I close my eyes, all I see is Wanda, drowning within darkness, calling to me. I do not think I will ever sleep again. Not until we find her.
Lately, I have come to believe there are no such things as mere dreams.
I knew you would understand.
What do you think Wanda is trying to say to you?
That she's still alive, waiting for us to pull her from your mother's arms, bring her back into the light. Like me, you also have a connection to the darkness, Hunter. Don't you also hear it calling out to you in your dreams sometimes? Whispering secret things, dark things.
Yes, my mother. She visits me in my dreams.
I know. I have heard you call to her in your sleep. I simply did not expect you to be so honest.
I know she is trying to manipulate me, but there are times when I feel a longing within her emptiness that is difficult.
The others would not understand. Do not worry. Your secret is safe with me. Well, I guess I should get back to not sleeping and let you get some rest. Sweet dreams, Hunter.
I'm an LA girl at heart, but I'll raise some hell in any major metropolis.
Was there something you wanted to tell me?
Have you ever noticed an unusually ornate bowl sitting near my altar? Keep an eye out for it the next time you're there. You'll know it when you see it.
He sees our path. Clever. I wonder if there are more rings nearby. Autumn does not answer. this bowl always here? Oh, this looks like it belongs here. Almost as if it were meant to be here.
Hey there, Hunter. You have a minute to spare? Because this misery sure would like some company.
What is troubling you, Tony?
Oh, I don't know. Pick your poison. I'm living in the Amity Horror House. My roommate is depressed. Oh, and I have a roommate and not my own executive suite at the nearest resort. The espresso machine is broken. The world is turning into the cover of a 90s metal album. And the big guy, well, he's not answering his phone. So you tell me, Hunter. What's not to be troubled about?
I am also concerned about Banner.
Because you care about him, or because of the mission?
Because you care about him. You Avengers understand what it means to have another warrior's back. Something I admire.
Oh, we have our flaws too. Believe me. Banner isn't known to be the most emotionally stable, and when the pressure ramps up, well, let's just say he doesn't have the kind of nervous breakdown that results in basket weaving and a week-long yoga retreat. Things get messy. Not being able to see how he's holding up is proving a challenge.
One we must endure for the time being.
Thanks for the talk.
Anytime, Tony.
It's good to punch Hydra in the face, but they feel like a red herring. Okay, a black and red herring, but still.
Salutations.
Hunter.
We stole their thunder and their morale.
Is that meant to be an offering bowl on the altar?
Another artifact Wanda was toying with but could never make work. I'm curious. Next time you find yourself there, place something in the bowl and speak an elder god's name. Perhaps it will work for you now that you have their blessing.
It seems my offering was accepted. If it was here, Autumn would show me. There must not be anything here. Autumn must not see it that way. Autumn thinks otherwise. That is something. Autumn must not see it that way. Autumn thinks otherwise. If it was here, Autumn would show me. This area, it feels wrong somehow. I sense an old suffering.
Members of the local coven were persecuted here. And worse.
Witches?
Salem's history with witches may have been distorted over the years, but some things are true. The witches of Salem did their best to thwart Shaw, but he rallied his congregation against them. The catalyst of the infamous Salem witch trials. When the coven called out in distress, it was Lilith and Sarah who came to their aid.
They came all the way from Transia, with the Abbey, to help a group they had never met?
You may not believe it, but I'm sure you would have done the same. Isn't that why the Sons are here today? Aside from that, your mother and Sarah both saw the signs of Cathan's influence. They knew there was more happening in Salem than the persecution of witches.
Chthon's corruption had taken root in the New World, just like the colonists themselves.
And while Lilith and Sarah were still preoccupied in Transia, they entrusted one of the moon seals to the Knights of Wondergore, who brought it to the Coven with the hope that its power would reinforce them enough to deal with Shaw.
But that is not what happened.
Unfortunately, no. When the plague came to Salem, the same one that afflicted your father, Shaw used it to further agitate his flock by placing the blame squarely on the Coven.
And the witches?
The mob was vicious. And the rest is history.
But what about the moon seal?
After the trials, the moon seal vanished along with Shaw. Without drawing any conclusions, I think we can both guess where it went.
If this was his church, then it is possible the seal is still here, or somewhere nearby.
You read my mind. Good hunting, dear.
Autumn does not answer. Noble Ushtur guides my hand. There must not be anything here. This must be Shaw's study.
Feeling well today, dear?
Tell me about Hiram Shaw.
By all accounts, Hiram Shaw was a desperate man. Desperate for power, wealth, influence, the usual desires that cloud men's minds. As I understand it, he was a largely unsuccessful minister before his arrival at Salem, traveling from place to place, swindling whatever followers he managed to gain before being run out of town. To think that a simple man like Shaw finding a piece of the Darkhold was enough to set all of this in motion, it puts things in perspective.
What do you know about my father?
That's not an easy question, dear. What would you like to know? Was he a good man? Yes, I think he was. Your mother loved him dearly, and he doted over her. I think for a time she forgot who she was, where she came from. And I don't mean that as a bad thing. She and Sarah both deserve to find something more than just another fight with Chthon. Lilith did. Sarah didn't. At least, not for a while longer still. I honestly think that's the only thing she ever had against him, blood or not. Until we speak again.
If it was here, Autumn would show me. There must not be anything here. This ward is not like anything I have seen on the grounds before.
And yet, it's familiar somehow.
Like the wards of protection that Wanda invoked to protect Dr. Strange's sanctum?
Very perceptive, dear. Maybe you should approach the good doctor and see if he has any insights. And Hunter, be circumspect. Dr. Strange is no fool.
How's it going?
Ah, Hunter, I was just admiring the collection. Someone spent a great deal of time piecing this library together. I hope you don't mind me, having a look around.
Of course not, Doctor. The library is an asset to us all.
I see I'm not the only one who's taken an interest in these works. You haven't been getting into anything precarious, I hope?
I have found something on the Abbey grounds that I think you should see.
Oh, sounds mysterious. By all means, lead the way. I think we'll avoid venturing this far from the Abbey, especially at night. It makes Tony nervous, you see. There's an unsettling air about this place.
This church belonged to a preacher named Hiram Shaw. His influence turned Salem against its coven.
A charismatic personality and a fearful populace can do much evil together.
There was more to it than that.
Yes, I suspected as much. Not in the I'm concerned about your personal well-being, Doctor sense. I think he's actually more afraid of what might happen to my side of the forge without proper supervision. You were right to bring this to my attention, Hunter.
I thought it resembled one of your wards of protection.
There's a reason for that. It's the same magic Wanda invoked in her attempts to protect the sanctum. But what is it that you're chasing out here? These wards aren't something to toy with.
I will not know for sure until I get past this. Is there any way to dispel it?
Unfortunately, no. What good would the wards of protection be if they were so easily broken? But I have been wrong before, at least recently. Do you have any suspicions as to who may have conjured this here?
Wanda spent a great deal of time out here, and she had the power.
She does have some experience with these spells, but why would she do that?
The only way I will know for sure is to find a way through to the other side.
I'll think on it and see if I can come up with some way to assist you, Hunter. For now, though, you'll have to be patient. You go on, Hunter. I'd like to study this area a bit more.
What is this?